Okay, then the next thing happened yesterday. It was one of those no good deed goes unpunished kind of situations. And it was involved somebody I'd call narcissistic or histrionic, or, not diagnosing, but the behavior is, it seems like we've changed everything that's abusive to one of these cluster B personality disorder traits, And it was basically, I was doing, taking a woman around. She's, close to 60 years old, and she doesn't speak English very well, and it's her second language, and she's not very fluent. And so I took her to a library, and it was like drama queen next to us in the parking lot, and they had, it was two young women, and they had their SUV turned the other way, the other direction. Well, the person I was with, she opened up the door, and it tapped the rearview mirror of that other car. And I don't know, I didn't know that it had happened. I was getting out of my door, didn't see it, hear it, anything. It just tapped it, is what I was told. And so I'm walking toward the library, and I turn around, and this young woman from that SUV comes running out, and she's practically screaming, you hit my car, you hit my car. And I said, what? I was being very polite, and she said that the woman I'm with tapped her car. She said she hit her car when she opened up the door. And so she said, she could at least said, I'm sorry. And I explained to her that, for one thing, she's not understanding what she's saying and why, and I thought, why do I do that? That's a bad thing to explain anything. And I felt it, but it was just happened, Well, this young woman, she was like, not really being real rude. I mean, she was being rude, but she wasn't being very, like histrionics can do, okay? So it's kind of hard, to tell. And I think she was a little bit worried because of our age or something, maybe. My height, gentle giant kind of thing. But I don't really know. She, I think maybe she was trying to show off to the other woman in the car that she confronted us. And so she said she was sorry and all this. She kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, I didn't realize it. And we looked at the rearview mirror, and there was nothing on our, on my car, nothing on the woman's, rearview mirror, anything. And like I said, I didn't hear anything, so, I was kind of wondering about that. And we walk off and we go toward the library, and I told her, the woman I'm with, I said, I should take a picture of this girl's, this woman's license plate, because they were just sitting in the car, the SUV, and they weren't moving. And I said, I don't like that. She might get out and scratch up my SUV, key it. And so I took a picture, and well, here comes that young woman running over there. She says, why were you taking a picture of mine? And I was making sure I did not allow this to escalate. So I flat out said, I didn't take a picture of your license plate. I said, my car's sitting right next to you. How do you know I was taking it of yours? I wasn't taking it of yours, And I was saying it really polite. And she started, yes, you did. I said, you need to leave us alone. I said, we can give you money for it. If you want money for it, we can apply it to our insurance. Oh, no, I don't want anything like that. I said, then you need to leave us alone. And I mean, there's nothing, her insurance company, my insurance company would laugh, So, and there was no dent, no way she could, and she knew I could escalate it and call the police. Well, she continued, so I did exactly that. She walked off. I took a little video, which I deleted by accident, but I called the police. And I told them, what happened to the operator for it. And she said, yeah, we'll have an officer come out. Well, I didn't think they was going to send an officer out, but, I told her I want to report this in case this young woman calls in. And I said, I don't want her, I'm afraid she might come out and key my, she might get out. She's not leaving, not getting out of her car, neither one of them, and they might key my car. And I said, so I got the license plate, and I gave, I said, it's on my cell phone, so I can't give you the number. And that's when that young woman left. And I could see as she come around the number, but I had gotten one number wrong because it wasn't like real close to where we were standing. Okay, so anyway, so they left, and there was some other woman driving up, and she was kind of looking at us a little, like she may have heard something or something. I don't know. But the police came out. You know, they were just down the road, and you know, like 1 block down the road is where their station is. And the guy came out, and you know, I told him what happened. The police officer, he was a young guy, and he said, "I just think she was having a bad day." You know, and I had felt the same thing. I'd felt this young woman is just having a bad day, and she thinks she's going to take it out on us. You know, well, so he got my driver's license because I was driving, and you know, we explained the story, and he said, "I am really glad that y'all, you know, that you called me, because you know you wouldn't want that to escalate, and it could have escalated." I said, "Exactly, that's why I called you." And he said, "It's very good." You know, he kept you know, complimenting me for thinking like that and to call them. And instead, you know, to call to make sure I reported and everything. He said, "She's the one that left, and so did the operator." She said, "Well, if she left, that's her leaving the scene, not you." And I said, "I know." And, you know, but she was leaving as I was talking to her, and that's what the police officer said. She said, "Well, she left. So it's, you know, you didn't run, you know, hit and run kind of thing." And it was, you know, just a little, you know, her accidentally hitting the, you know, because of the way their car was, you know, turned the other direction, you know, so the rearview mirror was behind her, okay, when she opened the door, you know, to the side, and usually a car next to you is not done, and it's not that way. So it was, she knew she was at fault. She knew you know, she had to apologize, do something after, you know, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know that it happened. I don't even know if she realized that it happened. Okay, so after that, nothing from it, nothing happened from it, nothing came of it. But I did have 2 phone calls from that town, and it kind of weirded me out. But logically, I know there's no way she's going to get my cell phone number from. If this is, you know, I was in Adam's SUV, so no, you know, there was no way. But it was just a weird coincidence, and it brought up thoughts and everything. But it was like one of those no good deed goes unpunished, you know, kind of situations. It's like something has always got to be a, you know, a drama. And so when after a while, I asked her, I said, how, you know, she was the woman I was with, you know, she was a high school math teacher year, you know, before. And I asked her, did she think that woman may have been a teenager? And it was kind of hard to tell. And she said, "Yeah, I think she may have been a teenager." And I said, "Well, that's why she ran off, is because she should have been in school." Okay, it wasn't a holiday that day, you know, it was the day after a holiday, and yeah, she should have been in school, and that's why she, you know, that's what we could figure. She ran off because she was, you know, skipping school. Both of them were skipping school. So anyway, it was, like I said, this is life in Narcissism-Ville. And the funny thing is, I had just explained to her, you know, I had shown her the high school, and I told her that the bad thing, when I was a student, I did substitute teaching, and that was one of the places I did. And because it's a very wealthy area, and I shouldn't say this, but yeah, these are kids that live in this place, you know, this area where people have high sense of entitlement, and it's very wealthy. And, you know, they are, not all of them, I don't want to generalize and say all of them, but the teenagers, I had a hard time. I wouldn't do it anymore at a high school, substitute teach again, ever. And it was just, they had a high sense of entitlement. And so it was just after that this happened. So it kind of went along with the whole story. But anyway, this has gotten long. Pardon my scene here, but yeah. There's a long story. I've got a lot of long stories to tell. But anyway, all those happened back, you know, within, I think it was 3 days. Yeah. So anyway, you know, I mean, have you ever had like so many back to back to back, you know? And there were others too, smaller ones though. But anyway, that's enough for this video for now. If you want to subscribe, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.